My girlfriend tried to break up with me 3 days after telling me she loved me as she worried that we are moving too quickly. How do I reassure her that slowing down the relationship isn't a deal breaker for me? My girlfriend and I have been together for about 3 months. I've dated both casually and had one long relationship, but this is the first time I meet someone I deem to be absolutely perfect. I know I'm young and maybe a bit naive, but I've been brought up with some strong family values and I don't deem the idea of settling down early on remotely crazy. Obviously, it would have to be the right person. She's beautiful, ambitious, and incredibly driven. We have a lot in common, from our love for Marvel and superheroes to video games. We also love to have discussions on current socio-political events. I am a conservative and she is more liberal, however, they never end badly and we are able to appreciate and respect each other's point of view. Honestly, it's been amazing. She used to often compliment me and used to tell me how I was her dream man and how before I came along she never saw herself dating someone in such a serious manner so early in her life, adding that she was incredibly excited for the future we could have. Our love life is absolutely amazing and we both said it was by far the best we ever had, and before anyone speculates, trust me, it wasn't just empty words. Last week I told her that I loved her and reassured her that she didn't have to say it back if she did not feel ready. Regardless, she said it back quite promptly and seemed very happy about how everything was going. After that, she sort of slowed down with the replies to my messages. She was always incredibly quick and started taking hours on end, as well as stopped showing any kind of affection to me. Confused, I asked her if anything had happened or if I had done anything wrong, and to my surprise I was met with a relatively ambiguous answer: it just feels off and I don't think I can do it anymore. I asked if I had done anything to result in such a drastic reaction and she just said I was still perfect, but she was unsure whether she could fully commit to such a serious and fast-paced relationship. I calmly asked her to explain herself to make me further understand, but she just said that something felt off and was worried she could not commit to her fullest, having to soon go to university. She explained that she wasn't searching for an excuse to sleep around but rather didn't want to give me less than what she believed I would want. I reassured her that we could try slowing the relationship down and we could even change some of our usual habits, but she just didn't seem to feel confident it could work because she didn't want to be less than I deserve. She's not the kind of girl to go look for the next best thing or to want to sleep around, and I know she is a bit insecure and intimidated by me. I'm very good looking in her eyes and she always used to ask me why I settled for her instead of pursuing someone else that she believes to be better than her. I asked her to take some time to properly think about the situation. We are currently on a break and I'm giving her time to think, but I'm worried she will act on impulse and make a permanent decision over some temporary feelings. How do I make her understand that I love her for who she is and that slowing the relationship down wouldn't affect the way I see her in any way? And also, what should I do now that we are taking some time apart? All I want is to text her, but I obviously want to respect her boundaries as well as not come across as desperate. I really do love her and I wouldn't want to lose what we have. BTW, sorry for the English, it's not my first language. Comnet. I don't expect anyone to comment, but I will be incredibly thankful to anyone that does. Next story 2. How to feel about ex getting in relationship with my best friend. As the title suggests, this is going to be a crazy one, so your opinions are appreciated. 2 months ago my ex-GF of 4 years left me and gave me a full 2 months of cold behavior beforehand. I tried to address all the issues raised and put in all the effort, but at the end, she said that she had lost feelings for me, and this is it. You can check my post history to find a detailed post on how I was feeling confused and blindsided because the breakup came out of nowhere. I was having pretty hard time managing the breakup. I was honestly going through hell because even before the breakup I had a pretty small circle and therefore a small support system. Now just today, my supposed best friend, or at least someone I had known and been on good terms for 7 years, said that he had something important to talk about. This conversation began after I noticed he had been ignoring/avoiding me for a month, and I reached out because I was contemplating breaking no contact with my ex. I was struggling and having a bad week. He told me a recent development which honestly has me shattered. He said that fact is my ex-GF actually really likes him and he happens to like her a lot as well, so before I get to hear this from anyone else, he wanted to let me know about the start of his relationship with her. My ex-GF and this friend had a common group, so it honestly feels like a blow of betrayal and just what the hell. I was the one who introduced my ex-GF to him. He noted a point though, that it was a recent development and this whole thing had no bearing on my ex leaving me 2 months back. I don't know how true that is because you don't fall in love this quick after LTR of 4 years, and especially with your ex's best friend. For whatever it's worth, my friend said that he found my ex compatible to be with but never really any action since it was wrong while we're together. Anyway, he said that he knows this a pretty shitty move, so I'm free to do whatever. When I asked more, he said that he values this new relationship more than our friendship. I got overcome by emotions and decided to text my ex-GF. Broke NC to ask if she thought any of this was true and she said yes. I asked if it meant anything to her that doing so would hurt me. She said that she doesn't. She had moved on and in fact did before the end of our relationship. I feel so freaking lonely and feel like no one is there for me anymore. As I said, my social circle is now none most likely. Comment. A lot of times we find that friendships are built mostly on convenience. I don't have much with which to speculate, but I'd bet that if you start analyzing who put the most into that friendship, you'd find that you were mostly convenient to him because you put the work into the friendship and thought he was better than he clearly was. For my part, I once had a best friend who sucked a whole lot. He was flaky as shit, which I had just characterized as having anxiety and not being able to show up. He was emotionally stunted, so he didn't add much for support, which I twisted to be him just being a good listener without much to say. He didn't wait for a relationship that I was in to be an ex. It's probably about 2 years later now. I'm pretty good with that. I'm not friends with him. That's not nearly as hopeful a statement as it sounds, as finding out that someone you thought the world of didn't think much of you is going to sting like hell for a long time, but eventually you will be okay with the trash taking itself out. For what it's worth, I'm sorry you're going through this. Sorry this is happening. It hurts, but it's also life. Your friend doesn't owe you to stay away from the ex. That said, you'll probably want to pull back from the friendship and start making some new friends. You can do this. Hey man, there's plenty of girls out there. Why would you purposely be ready to ruin a 7-year-old friendship over a girl like that? Just means you don't care enough about the friendship, which is fine. I don't care anymore either. Next story 3. My husband has a second family on the side. I've been sitting with this information for almost 2 weeks now and I still don't know how to proceed. My husband has been in what seems like a committed relationship with another woman and he's playing happy families with her and her 3 sons. They're even planning on having a baby. A week ago I stumbled on a TikTok account of this lady sharing her recipes and in the background I recognized my husband's back. I wasn't too sure at first, but after taking a real good look and as his wife I know that fool's neck, back, legs and the clothing he was wearing, so I went looking through her posted videos just to piece together a confirmation of it really being my husband, and I continued to keep an eye on him and his movements, but he seemed normal. It's clear to me now that he has his cheating down to a science. Every time he went on his work trips she'd post these videos saying she's cooking a new recipe because her man is coming back from his work trip. She'd plate the food up and I'd recognized his grubby hands by their look and the way he'd hold the cutlery. He has a peculiar way of holding it, kind of looks like a Neanderthal discovering forks and knives. I can't believe this bastard has been with her for 3 years. I don't know how he found the time to start an entire relationship on the side. I thought we were happy. He tells me loves me all the time. Always brings me a gift from his work trips. When he's home we have a great sex life and pretty much have sex 4 to 6 times a week. We talk all the time. We've been married for 21 years and we have 2 daughters. We lost our eldest son 10 years ago, but we worked through it and got closer than ever before. We are even due to have our 22nd anniversary and it's his turn to plan it. We alternate who plans the anniversary each year. I know he's been planning an elaborate party for us. So why is he cheating? I am so angry and don't know what steps to take. I am utterly distraught. I thought we were happy. I thought he loved our little life. I feel like I can't think and I barely know where to start. I can barely focus. What do I do and how do I do it? I love coming on here and reading things and giving advice, but now that it's me I feel like I can't think. I nearly burned my kitchen down because I literally spaced out and forgot that I was cooking. Comment. Collect all the evidence, all of the videos and a timeline of all of his work trips, contact a divorce lawyer and hit him with divorce papers. I'm normally of the approach that splits should be as amicable as possible, but this fucker has a whole second family. Be the definition of a woman scorned. I've been downloading all her TikToks and screenshot everything she has posted on her Instagram. I have also been collecting all our bank statements, but I can't find anything incriminating. At this point I'm thinking he has a secondary bank account I don't know of, and he's probably having the post delivered at his office or at his mistress's house. I'm actually considering hiring a private investigator to do a deep dive since I can't find any other evidence of his cheating. Talk to a lawyer first. Don't talk to him. He is most likely spending money on her too. You need to check all of your finances to make sure he is not in debt or taking money from any joint accounts, savings, retirement. I'd also do a credit check on him, the free ones, and see if he has opened any credit cards or has loans/debt. It could be considered marital debt. You need to set everything up to cover for yourself and your children. Most likely, he will move with her, which means he will be away and you will have full custody, so you need to get everything prepared to be able to support them and yourself. If you tell him, he'll have time to hide money, because you said he has a business. The business aspect means you need a very good lawyer because you'll be entitled to a % of the business or he can pay you, but establishing the worth of the business can be difficult.